Hi students, welcome to Shakers History classes. We are doing this video as part of Prelims and Mains 2022 series. As part of this, we are continuing with medieval India. Today, we are going to discuss about the Mamluk dynasty. Mamluk dynasty means it is also called as slave dynasty. The term Mamluk means in Arabic owned. It is like a person owning a property. So in those times, slaves were considered as their property. From that term, the Mamluk word emerged. They can be called as either Mamluk dynasty or slave dynasty. Now we have to go to the times of Ghori Muhammad. Ghori Muhammad, he was expanding his territories in the eastward direction. When he was expanding his territories in the eastward direction, his slave commanders played very dominant role. He don't have any sons or offsprings. However, he relied completely on his slave commanders. One of the slave commanders of Ghori Muhammad was Qutbuddin Aibak. Under his leadership, he expanded his territories in Indian subcontinent. There are different type of many slave commanders were there. Ghori Muhammad was having slave commanders, and in turn Qutbuddin Aibak was having his own slave commanders. For example, Iltutmish, he was one of the slave commanders of Qutbuddin Aibak. After the death of Ghori Muhammad, now this is the kind of empire Ghurid Sultanate was established at the time of Delhi Sultanate establishment. In 1206, Ghori Muhammad died. Now his territory, his empire, now was shared among his own commanders or Turkish slave commanders. Ghuri went to one person. Ghur is the central capital of Ghurid Sultanate. It was succeeded by his own nephew, Ghori Muhammad nephew or the son of Ghori Muhammad brother. Ghazni went into the hands of another one Turkish slave. Multan region went into the hands of one Turkish slave, and Delhi came under Qutbuddin Aibak. Now after the death of Ghori Muhammad, now an intense diplomatic and political maneuver took place among these rulers. Now under these circumstances, Qutbuddin Aibak, he tried to safeguard the independence of Delhi Sultanate. Now on the other side, Khwarizm Empire, it was expanding their territories into eastward. Now these people have threat from Khwarizm Empire as well. After some time, from north side, another threat was about to come. That is in the form of Mongol threat under leadership of Chengiz Khan. So Chengiz Khan, he liquidated all these states. Now under these circumstances, Delhi Sultanate tried to establish its own independent status. In this category, Mamluk dynasty played very important role. In Mamluk dynasty, Qutbuddin Aibak was the first ruler. We have to remember in the chronology of Mamluk dynasty, who was the first ruler of Mamluk dynasty means Qutbuddin Aibak. It was previous year question as well. Now here you see Ghori Muhammad, Ghurid Empire now came under, after his death, Ghor came under his nephew. Aldous came under. Aldous occupied or handled Ghazni region. Kubacha handled Multan region, and Qutbuddin Aibak became the governor at Delhi region. However, due to the changing scenarios in the Central Asia and in the present day Afghanistan region, he made Lahore as his capital. Now we will see Qutbuddin Aibak at Delhi. He was there unfortunately for 4 years only. He died while playing polo, horse polo. That name is Chaugan. It is also important. Previously, this question was also asked. He died while playing a sport called Chaugan. It is equivalent to polo but played with horses. Qutbuddin Aibak, he participated in the Second Battle of Tarain in 1192 and Battle of Chandawar near Kanauj in 1194. This is the Battle of Tarain took place in this location. It is present day Haryana state. This is near Firozabad. Near Firozabad, this Chandawar place is located. Now you see, this is Delhi. Delhi. Now in this map, this is Delhi. Here nearby, this is second battle of Terain. These areas come under Delhi Sultanate or Prithviraj Chauhan III. He was defeated. That means Chauhan Empire or Chauhan Kingdom came under Turkish armies. Later, this region was under Gahadwalas. Gahadwalas were defeated near Chandawar, and with this, Gahadwalas region also came under Turkish armies. These two places became launch pads to expand their territories into eastward and southward direction. In these two crucial battles, Qutbuddin Aibak participated, and while leaving to Ghazni, Ghori Muhammad he accepted or he appointed Qutbuddin Aibak as the governor of these territories. From that time onwards, he was acting as governor on behalf of Ghori Muhammad in Delhi. After his death, after Ghori Muhammad's death, now different people emerged as different governors. Now the political equations now are about to change among these people. However, with diplomacy and military tactics, Qutbuddin Aibak he saved the Delhi Sultanate region. He made friendship with the Multan governor, he made friendship with the Ghazni governor, and he had good terms with Ghor as well. Aldous was the ruler of Ghazni. He claimed his rule over Delhi. By virtue of succeeding near Ghor and Ghazni, these two are important places in Ghurid Empire. Whoever comes here, they try to see them as successors of Ghori Muhammad, and in turn they wanted to control these areas because these regions belong to Ghori Muhammad, and the people whoever succeeded at Ghazni, they see themselves as the real successors of Ghori Muhammad. So they feel this empire came under direct their control. Similarly, now when Aldous became the governor of Ghazni, he claimed his rule over Delhi. Now Qutbuddin Aibak had to maintain good relations with him in order to safeguard his authority. Aibak married a daughter of Aldous, and he also defeated Ghazni Aldous in a battle. Finally, with the military marriage diplomacy and also with the military tactics, he safeguarded Delhi Sultanate. Now you can see in this map Ghor, Ghazni, Multan and Lahore. Multan is very strategic place. Whoever wants to safeguard the territory in Delhi, they should have good terms with the governor of Multan. Qutbuddin Aibak, with his marriage diplomacy, he ensured the support of Kubacha. Kubacha was the governor of Multan and Uch region. Uch is a location nearby Multan. He wanted to become independent ruler. But if anyone tries to become independent, now whoever comes from this side, who are powerful, they easily conquer this region, and the next stage will be invasions of Gangetic plain. For this reason, Qutbuddin Aibak used marriage diplomacy. Qutbuddin married off his sister to Kubacha and ensured Kubacha's support in Qutbuddin Aibak's favor. So this is very important to ensure the safety of Delhi Sultanate. So this is how, with marriage diplomacy and through military tactic, Ghazni ruler and Multan governor became friends of Qutbuddin Aibak. Now he had challenges internally also within Indian mainland. Revolts from Rajputs came, and other Indian chiefs also revolted against the Turkish armies. In 1194, in the Battle of Chandawar, Gahadwala ruler was defeated. By virtue of this battle's victory, all the dominions of Gahadwala Empire or kingdom came under Turkish Empire. The successors of Jaichain, Harishchandra, had driven out Turks from Badayun and Farrukhabad. Farrukhabad and Badayun, in these locations, they were driven out. Now these Turkish territory now is under threat. Now Qutbuddin Aibak had to accept this challenge, and he reconquered both Badayun and Farrukhabad once again. Now he ensured the safety of Turkish Empire from Indian chiefs as well. Ali Mardan Khalji, he was the successor of Bakhtiyar Khalji. Bakhtiyar Khalji was the one who conquered the territories of Bengal and Bihar region. And after his death, his chiefs or his commanders became the successors of this region. And during the time of Qutbuddin Aibak, Ali Mardan Khalji, he wanted the support of Qutbuddin Aibak in order to gain the control over Bihar and Bengal region. Qutbuddin Aibak supported Ali Mardan Khalji, and with this he made to accept suzerainty of Aibak. This means Bengal and Bihar region also came under Qutbuddin Aibak. Now you can see on the western frontiers he safeguarded from Multan, he safeguarded from Ghazni. Now also he ensured his authority over entire dominions of Indian Gangetic Plain till Bengal region. So this is the kind of administrative techniques used by Qutbuddin Aibak, mainly through diplomacy, marriage, and also through military power. Now we see the administration, broad administration. One is diplomacy and military he used to ensure the safety of Delhi Sultanate. For safety, he did not read Qutbah in his name. Reading Qutbah in his name means he is completely cutting off from Ghazni and Ghurid politics. But he did not do so because in those times doing this as completely going against the wishes of Ghor and Ghazni, they can invade the Delhi Sultanate region once again. So in order to safeguard Delhi Sultanate, he did not read Qutbah in his name, so that he appeared as if he is under Ghazni and Ghurid administration. But in practice, he was almost independent. He did not struck coins also in his name. Doing these two activities means he is going against the wishes of Ghor and Ghazni. He did not do so, given the realities of the time period. However, he did not have much time. In 1210, he died while playing Chogan. It is a horse polo. This is also important. Now, Qutbuddin Aibak was the first ruler in Mamluk dynasty. Ghor and Ghazni, Multan region and Delhi Sultanate. Now, Qutbuddin Aibak, he ensured safety from Multan and Ghazni, and he ensured the sovereignty of this entire dominion. This is the kind of administrative and contribution of Qutbuddin Aibak in establishment of Delhi Sultanate, and he belonged to Mamluk dynasty. Now he is not only successful militarily also, but he is also patronized art and culture. Literature and architecture flourished during his time period. Even though he got less time period, in those 4 years we can see people like scholars like Hassan Nizami and Fakir Mudabir. These two people were patronized by Qutbuddin Aibak. Hassan Nizami, he has written a book. It was the first official chronicle of Delhi Sultanate. Now during the times of Ghazni Muhammad writes, we know details from Al-Biruni work. Al-Biruni work gives details about Ghazni times. Now we are in Ghurid times. During Ghurid times and Delhi Sultanate, we know information from scholars like Hassan Nizami. Thereafter, we will see different chronicles in the court of different rulers. From these chronicles, we are able to understand the administration and their policies during Delhi Sultanate time period. He was known as Lakh Baksh Sultan because he was very generous in donating wealth for scholars and literary people. Ferishta states in his book in 16th century, Qutbuddin Aibak belonged to 13th century. Even after 300 years also, Qutbuddin Aibak name is very famous. Ferishta in his book, he says that if a person is more generous in 16th century, he was termed as Aibak of 16th century. So this shows the kind of generosity Aibak showed towards scholars and other needy people. So this is one important aspect about Qutbuddin Aibak. When it comes to architecture also, in Ajmer and Delhi, two important architectural monuments were built during his time. One was Adai Ka Jompra. It is a mosque near Ajmer. This is the mosque. And Qutub Minar, he started constructing during his time period. However, he could not complete it. Later, his successor Iltutmish completed Qutub Minar. It was named after a Sufi saint, Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Now, Bakhtiyar Kaki, Sufi saint, was born in Kyrgyzstan and died in Delhi. This is important because when Delhi Sultanate was safe, and now people started coming into Delhi Sultanate region, they felt that Delhi Sultanate is more safer for their life, and it provides more conducive environment to pursue their passion. For example, scholars used to come from Central Asia and settle in Delhi region and in Delhi Sultanate region. Many Sufi saints, these people were peace-loving people. In order to pursue their devotion to God, now they need a peaceful territory. They felt Delhi Sultanate as a safe haven. They used to come from Central Asia. Now, after the Mongol conquest, this entire Central Asian and West Asian regions were ravaged with wars and battles. Many people flocked Delhi Sultanate. Many people flocked to Delhi. His successor, Qutbuddin Aibak's successor, Iltutmish, also patronized so many people. So Delhi became almost rivaled Baghdad. Baghdad, very famous for Islamic world. Similarly, this similar kind of status achieved by Delhi also later times, because it became very safe haven for many scholars and whoever were persecuted by these people in Central Asia, and they used to come towards Delhi to safeguard their life. So this is the kind of impact Delhi Sultanate is going to have on Islamic world in 13th and 14th centuries. Delhi Sultanate became so powerful that Ghazni Ghori became nothing in front of Delhi Sultanate, and it almost rivaled the Baghdad region. So this is the kind of impact Delhi had shown in 13th century. In that journey, Qutbuddin Aibak played important role. He was the first founder of Mamluk dynasty, and we can say he is the founder of Delhi Sultanate, and also, but his successor Iltutmish can be called as real successor or real founder of Delhi Sultanate, because he is going to have so many challenges. He handled very successfully one by one and finally made Delhi Sultanate as one of the solid and consolidated empire. Now we will see some of the questions related to Qutbuddin Aibak which are asked previously. In 2003, a question was asked, how did Sultan Qutbuddin Aibak die? Just we have seen, while playing a sport called Chaugan, it's a kind of horse polo, he died. So answer is, he died after a fall from his horse while playing Chaugan. Another question related to chronology. Different Mamluk dynasty rulers were there, or slave dynasty rulers. In the list, Qutbuddin Aibak was the first one. Here options are Ghiyazuddin Balban, Iltutmish, Qutbuddin Aibak, Nasiruddin Muhammad. If you know Qutbuddin Aibak was the first one, in the choices, 3 is given only in D. So option D is the answer. So these are the questions that are asked in previous UPSC examination also. So this is how you have to see importance of Qutbuddin Aibak, under what circumstances he became the governor of Delhi Sultanate, and through what kind of challenges he faced, and how he dealt these challenges successfully and made Delhi Sultanate a independent kingdom or independent sultanate. Thank you.